Welcome back to the Black Emporium, you beautiful spooky people. My name is Vivian Black, as you may know. Now what some of you don't know is that I actually play the guitar. Very badly, but I do try. Now working on a site called Sweetwater online, a musical instrument store as well as musical gear, I came across this. Beautiful, isn't it? This is a first act kid's strawberry guitar. Now, when I looked on the store, what immediately caught my eye about this instrument was the body shape. Immediately I wondered, how could I turn this crap kid's toy into something beautiful, which could be used for, let's say, cosplay, or hell, maybe I can even make this functional. So, follow me and I'll show you how to turn this piece of crap guitar into something beautiful. Let's go. The first thing to do, of course, was to unstring the guitar. Now, I am not going to show you the monotonous 5 minutes of detuning the guitar. I know some of you are going to say, oh, why didn't he just cut the strings? Well, I prefer to keep the strings for use in other stuff, or if ever I need extra for my guitar. Now that the strings were taken off, I removed the tuner guards from the headstock. These I just threw away. Now that the tuner guards are gone, it was time to remove the tuners themselves. I was tempted to leave in the audio and give you guys a little bit of ASMR as I unscrew the screws and remove the tuners. But that would mean more work for me, and it's much easier just to hit the mute button. I took off the guitar strap pegs as well. Now that everything that could be removed has been removed, I took some painter's tape and covered the fretboard, the bridge, and the nut as well. It is important for these to be well covered and well protected, as what I'm about to do would affect the playability of a guitar. With the fretboard and other important areas of guitar protected, I began my butchering of the strawberry paint. Even though this guitar, as is the pinnacle of Gothic elegance, I have a habit of ruining things, so it was time to sand the body, neck, and headstock. Now, I know some guitar enthusiasts out there are screaming at the screen at the atrocity I am committing. This is basically a kid's toy. I would never do this to, let's say, a Martin or a guitar worth more than $30, which is how much this was on Reverb. After sanding down the body, neck, and headstock, I removed the dusty tape to see if the fretboard, nut, and bridge had been protected. Fortunately, the fretboard remained untouched as far as I know, same for the nut. The bridge, however, sustained a little wear, but I could easily fix it with paint. Now, inspired by one of my previous works, I wanted to use a dye to decorate the guitar. Of course, I had a wide variety of black paint, but where could I get some red dye? Well, from the most Gothic source, of course, blood! I'm only joking. This is Keta Red Wood Dye. It is very vibrant and bright wood dye, and I absolutely love it. Using this wood dye in an old torn shirt that at one point was a sickening white, I drenched the shirt in crimson and applied a loose wet coat to the guitar. I taped off the neck and first couple frets to protect it. At the end, I decided to tape off the whole neck so I have something to grip, and I could manipulate the guitar better. I gave the headstock a little coat as well, then waiting about 15 minutes for the dye to settle before giving the guitar another coat. In the end, I gave the guitar about 3 coats of wood dye to give the guitar a real blood red look. I know it doesn't look like much now, but it will soon. I used a Krylon Crystal Clear, and while wearing a face mask, I sprayed the body first, giving the guitar a thin coat. I am sorry I did not film the process, as I really needed to focus on this part. Using this spray can be very risky. If you are not careful, you can give the guitar sprouches or runny parts and maybe even too thin. In the end, I ended up spraying the guitar about 2 to 3 times, spraying on thin coats to give it an even finish. Even if I did not record the process, I can still show you the after photos when it was all finished. Now, you may notice that the guitar looks pretty terrible. This is due likely to the wood not being real wood but a cheap plywood. And as well, the wood dye I used is old and has been sitting in the shed through winter and might be frozen over and over and over again. But this isn't bad, as only little parts of the guitar will be red in the end. Now, some of you may or may not be surprised, but I am a gamer. I usually play fantasy or science fiction games, and one particular game with a particular symbol inspired this project. The game is a classic called Skyrim, and my favorite faction within the game were the Nightingales. And I felt their symbol of the moon, night, and ravens were perfect for this guitar. So online, I searched for a Nightingale sticker and found one, and I found another sticker of a crescent moon. I planned to cut up the crescent moon sticker and try to follow the ornate pattern of it, but this was way beyond my skill level with a simple knife. So, in the end, I decided to keep the moon whole, but with the Nightingale sticker, it was far easier to cut up and follow with a scalpel. I did not film this because I needed to focus. I wanted to get it as perfect as possible, and I am sorry for that. A special friend of mine by the name of Melanie Stone gifted me a bunch of scrap resin figures and filigrees, so I had a selection of smaller moons to choose from for the headstock. Eventually, I chose one. You can find her fabulous work in the link down below in the description. Please go and support her. With my stickers and my acrylic moon now assembled, I stuck the stickers onto the guitar. The Nightingale and its moon I placed onto the back of the guitar, while the crescent I placed below the sound hole, and I taped the smaller moon onto the headstock. Finally, it is time for every goth's favorite activity, painting the living hell out of anything black. I am sorry, but yet again I have lost the footage of the painting process. The footage of this video and the humidor video were all used when I had my old phone, and no professional equipment whatsoever. And I've never backed up any of my photos, so now they are lost to the void. Here I can show you what paint I used as well as the after photos after the process. After I was done painting, it was time to peel back the stickers, and when unveiled, the guitar looked absolutely amazing. This is by far one of the most satisfying things I have ever done. Just look at that beautiful red sheen contrasted with the flat matte black of a guitar. It is absolutely beautiful. I love it. Now, working with any paint, I needed to protect the guitar, so using what I had on me, I used polyurethane to coat the guitar and give it a slick shine. I coated the whole body of the guitar and the back of the neck, as well as the headstock. Now, I am no luthier, so I have no idea what I'm doing is actually affecting the playability of the guitar and the tone. So, if you can help me and give me advice in the comments on how to properly do this. Again, this is a kid story, but I would love anyone's advice or opinion. After applying the polyurethane, I put the tuners back on. Making this video, I am thinking about getting more professional tuners and or something a bit more gothic, but for now, the silver tuners that came with it will do. Finally, it was time to peel off the tape and reveal the fretboard, to which I am glad hasn't sustained any stain, paint, or damage. The bridge got some damage from initial sanding, but that was easily fixed. The nut above the fretboard got a bit of stain, but this I did not mind too much. Let's see how I did with the paint job. Yep, that looks gothic, but not gothic enough. With the help of the lustrous and beautiful Melanie Stone, she gave me another filigree, and I decided to glue it to the bottom of the bridge to add a bit more elegance to the guitar. I glued and clamped it on to stick. When everything was finished, I needed to get some higher quality strings and a more gothic guitar strap. So, I visited the site Sweetwater again. There, I found this voodoo guitar strap. It was perfect to accompany and hold this guitar. I bought myself some Ernie Ball black and silver nylon strings. Now, the reason I am not using steel strings is because, once again, this is a kid's toy, and the guitar cannot handle the high tension of steel strings. You may notice that the action of a guitar on the fretboard is very high. This is due to steel strings being previously used and making the neck bow, but either way, hopefully with nylon strings this guitar will sound beautiful. Now, one thing that you may find strange about this site is that when you order something, you'll get a random call from a guy named Zach. Yeah, it is pretty weird, but he's just checking to see if your order is okay. He's a very nice man. He actually sent me candy. Now, let's have one more look at that guitar. I think our Dark Lady Nocturnal will be proud. Thank you all for watching. I hope you found this video both informative and entertaining. Now, I always say this with my videos and my projects I do, but this was by far my favorite I have ever done. Just look at this, it was just so beautiful. It was difficult to make, but just look at that. I absolutely love it, and I hope you do too. Now, until next time, I'm thinking about doing another box, using the same methods I used for this guitar. But anyway, please like, comment, subscribe, support me in any way you can. You don't have to, just please do it. It helps me a lot. But until then, stay spooky. Now, let's see how it sounds. 1, 2, 3. Once again, a special thank you to Eilish, Pickett, and James Christopher Hill. And also, a special thank you to Melanie Stone for her contribution to my project. Please like, share, and subscribe to help me with my videos, and I'll see you all next time. Hold on guys, before you leave, there's a few things I wanted to say. Firstly, I love this guitar so much that I decided to buy a second one. It's funny, I'm pretty sure that these are the only two of these strawberry guitars in existence because I cannot for the life of me find a third. But aside from that, what I'm going to do with this guitar is I'm going to refinish it just like I did with the first one. But this time, I'm going to give it to a friend of mine. I am sure he will love it. But I also want to apologize for my lack of uploads and my upload rate. I have a lot to do outside of making videos and that sort of thing, and a lot to worry about, such as bills and a full-time job. But I promise you, I am trying my best to get as much content out there as possible. So I thank you for your patience. Have a wonderful day.